Hello, guys, and welcome to Mark Tully the Vurnal, where I talk about my real life situations and how I applied mental health and personal development tools to overcome or work through them. I want this to be authentic as possible, so don't mind the swearing, etc., crude language, slang, potentially at times. The idea is to be as real as possible so I can connect with people and potentially give them golden nuggets of information that they can then use and apply to their own life. Because long story short, get into the actual story as these podcasts go on, but long story short, I'm in a very, very, very good place. Just trained as a life coach. I fucking love it. I'm beginning to create a new life for myself, full of fulfillment and many options and paths that I can take, and it's all very exciting. But I never used to be like this. I've had some extremely dark days, and someone that I could relate to would, I know for sure, been very helpful in those times. So that is the idea, to use my relatability to explain certain situations in a way that hopefully people can understand and have a positive effect in their life. I will probably talk about those dark days and be vulnerable in there, simply because I can, because I've worked through it all. And also, obviously, I'm not a therapist, so as a life coach, there's lots of confidence boosting and, things like beating negative self-talk, which can be very restrictive to building our life that we want. I'll also cover things like core values, aligning with yourself, overarching life goals, and SMART goals, little ways to reach what you're actually aiming for in a planned manner that makes sense and gives you confidence and can flow. And I'll also cover things like growth mindset and many, many other subjects up into the whole spectrum of life where I'm qualified anyway. So that would be the stuff that I've literally been through and worked through in my own life experience, plus the education that I have gained from the courses. Just started an NLP course, and I've completed the Jay Shetty Life Coaching School also. So yeah, that's where I'm at. This episode is called Introduction, My Reason Why. So I'll get into that and I will start at the beginning. The beginning being the fact that I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing with this podcast, how to do them, how to edit them. This is like my fourth proper try. Out of there's probably been like 500 little tests or whatever. Couldn't even get the microphone to work for ages. But yeah, it's pretty fucking mental, my life at the minute, if you want the truth. Just like trying to apply myself to this life coaching stuff. I love the coaching. I am good at it. Like, I know that might sound a bit blow my own trumpet, but yeah, I love it. And I think anything that anybody loves, they're always going to be good at. So yeah, that's fantastic. Just like seeing clients light up or seeing a massive improvement from week to week, like or them telling you things like they've quit all the pills that the doctor gave them and they never felt better because the doctor put them on like Prozac or whatever for being depressed. Like just hearing shit like that is incredible. So I do know what I'm doing there, essentially. This side of things, though, the business building, the podcast doing to get my name out there and stuff, my Instagram. I started a TikTok because I was too scared to start an Instagram. Like, how mad is that? It's just there's some barriers for myself to break through for sure. This is one of them. Hopefully, this is like going to really help gain momentum. If not, sweet. Well, I'll try something else. There's no rights or wrongs for sure. It's that is a beautiful part of what I'm doing right now. It's just a massive, massive, massive field of opportunity everywhere. So why not try this? Why not try that? Why not do this? Why not do this? Whatever. The main reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing is, look, I already love my life. I'm an electrician in Sydney. You get paid way too much for what we do. It's ridiculous. I already have a great life. Don't have any properties or anything, but I've got amazing friends. I have two motorcycles, one for the road, one for the track. A nice big ute that I like. Amazing friends back home. Like human connection is one of the biggest things in my life. It's right up there. Very, 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 very grateful for all the people in my life. So if you are listening to that and you're one of those people, I thank you very much. Yeah, so my reason for explaining that is my reasons for going down this path that I'm on now are genuine and authentic, and that is basically through my trauma therapy with Horse Time back in Scotland. Fantastic people, unbelievable psychological trauma therapists. In my opinion, the best kind of therapist ever. Their job is to get to the root cause of the problem and also educate you on how to be your own therapist, essentially. Be the Sherlock Holmes of yourself. And the things that I learned there, like my personal growth aside, it was like 9 months intensive. But there isn't a time limit on it. It's just like depends how quickly that person gets to that point, and depending on whatever they have to work through. But yeah, I remember my first session. Fucking hell, PTSD, abandonment issues, all sorts of stuff that I was told that I definitely have, and it was like blew my mind. But at the same time, I was so happy that I had something now that I could work on, and I had somebody that had all the knowledge that could tell me all this sort of stuff. Throughout the course of my therapy, I was just like, "Fucking hell, this is nuts." The amount of stuff that we are not taught as a population is absolutely disgraceful. The things that should be taught in school, like your survival part of your brain, causes anxiety and stuff like that, because it's just trying to always scan the surroundings and keep you safe, right? But essentially we are Neanderthals. Our brain is anyway. So it's like thinking it's in caveman times, and it really, really isn't. You know what I mean? So it's scanning, it's scanning the environment the whole time, and it sees stuff, and it gets anxious and things, and it doesn't have to, or like it's just got to deal with all these bits of information like all the time. So no wonder it's getting anxious, and just simple things like breathing in for 4 seconds and out for eight, scientifically proven by the way, calms it down. That literally calms it down. It's in the DSM-5 TR, which is the American psychiatrists and psychologists rule book, essentially, of all different things. So if it's in that book, you know what I mean, it has to be 100% like checked by every man and his dog. Yeah, it's just simple things like that. Like I didn't know that. I was like, why wasn't that in there? We had the social education classes in school. I was like, that's a massive life tip. All you have to do is breathe in for 4 seconds and out for 8 seconds. And also tell yourself that it's working, that you're calming yourself down, because an emotion only lasts for 90 seconds. It's another one that I learned. I'd actually learned that previously on a podcast, but never mind. Um, Thoughts are 20 times stronger, but so we have to use the thoughts so we don't re-trigger the emotion. It's simple shit like this, and like that stuff can literally calm you down. The breath work through an emotion, like give it a color, breathe out the bad color from your body, and breathe in like a new color or just fresh air, like and just like really do big belly breaths, and you can totally change your emotions in a situation and calm yourself down or stop yourself from freaking out, or just be happier. Another thing that I learnt was that so if you take your finger and take it all the way you can, point as far as way as you can, right? That's when you're born, and then draw a line, and you go through your whole life, like you learn how to walk, talk, whatever. You go into school, and then you go to high school, and then you might go to college or uni or whatever it done, and then you got a job, and then you got promotion, and then you got this and that, and whatever, blah blah blah, and you came to Australia because you're cool. And then there's a line touches your back, right? And that's now, right? The present day. A timeline, right? Essentially, that's how we all see time logically. The survival part of our brain doesn't. Everything is right there, touching your back the whole time. It doesn't understand that you're not a 3 year old, or, that whatever happened 10 years ago and you're actually okay about it or whatever. It's just like, if it gets a trigger, people talk about triggers all the time, that's always a link to a past memory of something. If it gets a trigger, say, I always use this example, right? Car crash, and something horrific happened. This is just hypothetically. I'm not talking to anybody directly here, or about myself for that matter. Something tragic happened. Close relative died. Obviously, very tragic. It would have had grave effects on your mental health. At the time, you hear a car screech in the street, you think nothing of it, and then you're like down or depressed for maybe 3 or 6 months after that, and you have no idea why. That's because the survival part of your brain went, oh fuck, I remember this. Let's do what we did to survive because we are alive. Bam! Takes you back to that point emotionally, right? So no wonder you feel like this. And I do have a real life example actually that I can apply to you. 4 years ago, I was like, fuck. I remember working away and I wasn't happy with some people, and I just felt like a shadow of my former self, you know? Because when I'm good, I'm big, confident, I'm loving life, capable of doing a lot of things, right? And I was like, I felt like I was fawning a lot. I was just like really going like back to my darker days, and I was like, this hasn't happened since I moved to Australia. So like, I would have been in Australia for about 4 years at this point, something like that anyway. And I just could not figure it out. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So there was actually a guy, one of my mates was pissing me off, and like in my head, I was resorting back to my old coping mechanisms, which was fighting. You know what I mean? I was gonna beat this guy up. Glad I fucking didn't. Um, yeah, what I did was I went to a psychiatrist. I only went to this guy twice because he threw a pity party for me, which is should never happen. It's actually, yeah, to this day, and the more knowledge I gain, it's horrendous. If anybody's got something to say that's, like hurtful for them or traumatic, you shouldn't be in there with them as well. You're supposed to be there supporting them. So I thought that he was in more pain than me, which was ridiculous. But anyway, he did teach me that that the brain, if it gets a trigger to a past unprocessed trauma, it's gonna take you back there. Emotionally, it's gonna drag you down essentially in your life. And just learning that was enough for me to just feel like 10 times better straight away. Because this is how it works. Most of the things that affect us only affect us because we don't understand what's happening. Especially like me being a logical thinker. If I can't understand the situation, it's obviously going to make it worse because I'm like, this doesn't make sense that I feel like this. But I'm telling you right now, there is a reason why. You just haven't been taught it yet if you're in that situation. If you're on the other side and you've taught it, you right now you'll be going, yeah, 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 which is class. This is like why awareness is so fucking important. And I'll do a podcast on awareness, but essentially I'll touch on it right now. It's basically like you could have a leak in the attic, and then the water eventually is gonna, destroy the ceiling and bring down or you know how the ceiling crashes down. I remember that happened to me one time, like 2 or 3 in the morning. I was like, what's going on? Big crash woke me up, went through the kitchen ceiling and fell down back home in my wee flat that I had. So what awareness is it's going into the attic and having a look and finding the leak and fixing it before the ceiling crashes down, before your life crashes. It's like taking your car for an MOT or a pink slip, they call them over here in Australia, and the guy finds like the brake pads are low. Sweet, fix that. It's you being your own mechanic, going in the brain, finding that, some oil's leaking, so you can fix the oil leak before the engine seizes because it's got no oil in it. That's awareness. That's awareness. And to increase awareness, there's several things you can do, like journaling, inward reflection, just getting really fucking curious, understanding that you're not your brain, you're not your thoughts. That's actually not you at all. You are yourself. It's like a mysterious entity of the human being, like your soul, your spirit, your energy, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. Then you have your brain, then you have your body. There's like 10% of the neurons in your body that are in your brain. So when you get a feeling in your stomach, it's not your brain putting it there, it's your body telling your brain, oh, there's something you need to know here. Because no feelings are good nor bad, by the way. But yeah, my point was awareness is the foundation of. Sorry, I went off on one a little bit there, didn't I? I need to like focus on not doing that as much because I can totally just go, because I love all this shit. Like, I absolutely love it. But yeah, sorry for rambling. And back to my point. Awareness is the absolute foundation of finding exactly what's wrong. And then at least at that point, you can know and understand the situation, which will be all or half of the battle. If you're still getting triggered by it and stuff, then you might need some sort of process, like sitting down with a life coach. I know a guy. I know a guy. Doing some CBT with cognitive behavioral therapy, which is basically just logically breaking down a limiting belief, something that's been holding you back. And I'm not going to start talking about that right now because I do want to keep these episodes nice and short. I hope this one has been helpful. I'm going to, yeah, give me some feedback if it has or hasn't. That would be absolutely fantastic because if this is shite, I need to know it's shite so I can change it up. Because I think the podcast is a good idea, just to get me out there, get my personality out there. Because, like, yeah, I do want clients, but I don't want many at the minute. It's like really limited numbers because I do work full time as a Let's Go supervisor. I am trying to do podcasts. Clearly, I am trying to create online courses so people can access life coaching type materials at a very reasonable price. Because not being funny, but the one-on-one coaching is expensive. Um, yeah. So yeah, I hope this was helpful in some way. Also, hit me up if you would like me to cover any topics or if you have any comments or tips or advice because I am brand new to this. So if anybody, has some knowledge on even the audio editing and things like that, then yeah, I'd be very grateful for that. And have a great month. Tune in a month's time. This is the frequency I'm planning on doing them. Yeah, have a great one. See you later.